think about it. If you had a clone of yourself, would that
Right.
clone be a 100%? Even if you put every single piece of experience you have, would they have made the same decision? What an episode! If you're not watching, you need to watch Foundation. Welcome back to Structure. I'm your host, Lion. I'm joined by my co-host, Mystery. I hope you guys are doing great. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. But Mystery, what are we talking about today?
Hey, we're talking about season 2, episode 8 of The Foundation. We're 2 episodes away from the season finale. Foundation, don't leave me now. Things are just starting to heat up. Lion, let's get into it.
Without further ado, let's go. What an episode. I mean, I don't want to spoil what our rating is going to be for this episode, but what an episode. Let me just start there. This
Yeah.
episode really had a focus on, I think, I'm going to say the theme of this episode was the puppet masters, those who are behind moving all the pieces in the chessboard, and love. We had some romantic scenes going on in this particular episode. We have my boy Howard Mallow clapping a little bit. We have brother Don doing a little clapping as well of his own, and that was
Yeah. The only
interesting.
one who didn't get any cheeks was Brother Day. He got something else.
He got clapped. He
Yeah.
got clapped himself. Yo, but then what an episode! Amazing. So just to get into the meat of things, let's just get some of the stuff out of the way.
Yeah, yeah.
We noticed that in this episode let us know that the story with Gail, Salvor, and Harry, they're not in the same timeline. We found out that Salvor was the one who let Harry in the vault know who that they needed Howard Mallow because they saw it in the future. So we know they're not in the same timeline. They're close, but they're about, I would say, months or days away from each other from things that are happening. Are we gonna see the stories converge? That would be quite interesting. This is what they did last season as well. If you remember that mystery, where we thought they were on the same timeline, and then we found out, hey, some people are in the future, some people are in the past. So
That's right.
very cool, very
That's right.
interesting there. We also saw that Talon's true colors came to light. Talon,
Yeah.
fir- first time we saw her, benevolent, welcoming, warm. She's an egotistical dictator, maniac, ruler. She just wants to live forever.
Tell us how you really feel, Lion.
And let's keep it real. Like some of the main bad people in this show, or some of the stronger characters, the authority figures. I won't say the main people, the authority figures. Let's talk about Cleon. Cleon wants to live forever. He made the genetic dynasty, right? We have
Right.
Harry Seldon. Harry essentially wants to live forever through his memories and through the Prime Radiant and the holograms and even coming back to life. And now
Yep.
we have Demersel's been there forever. And then we have Tellum. Tellum doesn't want to die. We first thought that she just wanted to groom Gale so Gale becomes the next leader of the Metallics. No, no, no. She wants to take over Gale's body. What's your
That's right.
opinion on that thing for this season? That we know that the people that are the authority figures, leaders of people, they want to live forever, Mystery. Let me talk to you about that.
Like you said, they're keeping it real because this is real human nature, so to speak, right? So everybody wants to be top gun, everybody wants to be the leader, and we're seeing that play out in Foundation. I think it's incredible because you have all these storylines that, in order to rule, they have to have conflict with each other, and somebody has to end up victorious. And I mean, we're seeing it all play out in this episode. It's this episode. Wow. How
An
about you,
amazing
Lion?
episode. It was an amazing
Yeah.
episode. Yeah, it's each episode has a particular theme, and they're kind of revealing more of the story. And I have to say,
Hmm.
whoever's running this show, amazing work. I had not seen a show
Yeah.
go from season 1 to season 2 and up the stakes and make you feel so engaged and make the show so much better that
It's crazy.
I can't. I'll say this. I think
It's
maybe the second season of 24 back in the day. I love
uh,
24. I know it's a totally different
going
show, but
to the subnet.
the anxiety you got watching an episode of 24. I'll say I won't even say Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was they just started hard and they kept going hard
Right.
for a few seasons. But I can't think of too many shows that have improved so much. The first season of Foundation, in my opinion, was great from acting and storytelling. It was excellent. This one, they brought more action, they
Yeah.
brought more sci-fi. They're making you engage. They're making you think about stories. I finished watching an episode, and I keep thinking about it. I don't know do you think of a show that has left you like feeling season one was good, but wow, season two is just crazy.
No, the seasons usually have either going on that
Succession maybe.
trajectory
Succession,
or
I think the second season improved a whole lot more than the first one.
that's good. But I think the analogy is
Billions.
billions. No, I think they went their trajectory went a different way, especially the last two seasons that we have. But
Okay.
this particular series has gone from like second gear to sixth gear, and Succession maybe went from like second gear to fourth gear, and then they upped it maybe fifth gear. I think season three is when they upped it when the son went against the father in the press conference or whatever. But that's a different story. But this series is on the level of like your classic Spielberg series, your classic Star Wars series, your classic Disney series. Just the storyline, the production, the sci-fi, uh,
All
everything
there.
is amazing.
I'll say this. I know this is not exact what a lot of people wanted. They're fans of Isaac Asimov's story, original story. They're
Hmm.
taking liberties with the story, right? It's not
Yep, yep.
exactly, but it doesn't mean it's not fantastic. I put your feelings aside. If you are not watching, do yourself a favor. You need to watch this show. I know it's on Apple TV, and I don't know how many people have access to Apple
I
TV.
think it's like
I know
$6.
it's
I don't
it's,
know how much.
it's inexpensive, and they give you. I think if you have a PlayStation, you get 6 months for free. If you sign up through Apple, you get like 90 days for free. There's a lot of options on how to watch this show. I highly recommend watching this show.
They
You
got
need to
bangers.
watch one of the best
More
shows on
coming.
television. Acting,
Yep.
storytelling, just cinematography is all there. Amazing show. But going back to the episode, another thing that I'm gonna say this, and I know you have something to say about a theory you had that we spoke about in this show. One
I'll let
thing
you
that
say it, but go ahead.
I made a video, a short, a TikTok a couple of weeks ago, where I did get some pushback saying I was very far off. I was a little, I was not that I was crazy, but I was pushing it right. However, this episode kind of justified me on it. I have to
Told you
say.
so.
So tell him I made a video that I thought when I first saw tell him and I was calling her pal Ra, my mistake. I grabbed the name from the first episode that they really didn't tell us her name. Tell him was gonna be the mule in the future. And I explained that through reincarnation, she was gonna reincarnate it later on and then try to hunt the foundation and find out where the second foundation was. She would not have the memories of where they were. Either Gail was gonna suppress her memories or some way. I think this episode shows one thing that tell him now let us know that she can push her herself into someone else's so she can live longer. She wants to live forever. This is why she wants Gail. However, I don't think that's gonna pan out. We already saw the future. We know that Gail is successful in creating the second foundation, and
Hmm.
we saw that Salvo's gonna die, and that this mule is hell bent in getting them both. And we keep getting
Clearly.
glimpses of Josiah. Josiah is a little metallic boy that has the neck half slit. Um, I don't know, like this. I found it very curious throughout the show. Like, why they keep showing this boy? He has the same haircut as the mule. Maybe he becomes a mule. But now we know.
Yep.
Prediction time. I think we're gonna see uh Gale Salvor saved Gale and leave
Obviously.
Helen very much injured in big peril. I think we're gonna see her push herself into Josiah's being. She's gonna become Josiah's gonna take pity on
He,
her. He's gonna cry on top of her body. She's
his
dying,
family show
and
line.
she's just
Go
gonna
ahead.
take over. She's gonna take over his body. I
Yeah.
think the Gale's gonna see this, and instead of eliminating Josiah, because he's just a little boy, she's just gonna erase the memory of where the foundation is and send him to another planet. And this is how we get to what we saw in the future. That's just my idea. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree or not. I know I'm long-winded. I know I sometimes speculate crazy stuff, but hey, I did it with the Wheel of Time, which by the way is
Told
back,
you so.
and
It's back.
I've done it a couple times with the show. So let me know if you
Oh my
guys think
gosh.
I'm right.
Yeah. Hey, I think you're 100% right, Lion. With one tweak, I think like the being, Tellum's being is going to be floating around and then go into Josiah or whatever. That's the one thing. But I think you're 100% right. It This guy has a vendetta against Gale and Salvor, and what better storyline than what we're seeing unravel right in front of us, right? So that's definitely the way to go.
Now, Mister,
Uh,
hit it with what you have, because we mentioned a couple of things in this show that I think that coming through, and go ahead, hit him with that.
Today we saw the revelation of the puppet master. You know, the one who's really pulling the strings, which is sort of I don't did I mention it on air? I know I said it off air, but Demoiselle,
We have alluded to that
yeah,
multiple times in the show. Yeah.
yeah, she has all the power. And now we see exactly how much power she has, which is everything. She controls the entire empire, even empire themselves, day, dawn, and dusk. And as we saw, she's the one pulling the strings and also erasing their memories, right? So she's the one that's planning in. Demoiselle is untouchable, and she's the one behind the scenes. Like it's almost like we have puppet kingdom or whatever. She's a puppet master. Like I
Yeah.
said, she's calling the shots. She's saying who goes, who stays, who marries who. She's the one with the real power. And we saw when Dusk got locked into that room, which I think was a prison, right? He said, originally it was a jail or a prison, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I
Yeah.
think they're locked there. Um,
Cleon the
that
first
was
showed up when that
Demoiselle.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Demoiselle. So does that mean here's my far fetched theory? Does that mean that the robots really won the war? Like did they really win since Demoiselle is the one pulling the strings after all? I mean, there's not many of them left, but she's ruling the entire empire. So what are your thoughts on that?
So I don't think the robots won the war. I'm gonna say that because they did explain that it was robot versus robots and humans versus robots. I think
Hmm.
Demercell is maybe like a traitor robot that uh, was siding with the Cleons, and Cleon programmed Demercell to carry
Hmm.
out every desire, his the way he rules. This is a way for Cleon to live forever. He
Hmm.
did not want to die. He wanted to live forever, but he wanted his will to be imposed on everyone else. He wanted his desires to be imposed on everyone else. What best way to do it with a robot? He did have sorry. He does have the clones, but the clones
Right?
we know from the season one to season two, they differ in personality and they all don't have the same amount of memory as the original Cleon. As it was shown episode seven, I believe episode six, I believe that's when they showed that. Since they differ, would that truly be you? If you had a clone of yourself, think about it. If you had a clone of yourself, would that
Right?
clone be a 100% you? Even if you put every single piece of experience you have, would they have make the same decisions? What are the
Nice.
variants here? So the variant here,
That's
the way they
yeah.
can control, the way Cleon can control how things are gonna run and ensure that his will gets done is by having Demercell pull the strings behind these three puppets, Brother Dom, Brother Day, and Brother Dos.
That's
And
exactly what they
because
are.
if she would have been the figurehead, I don't think the people
Would have
would
accepted her.
people,
They wouldn't have.
no, not just that. People, if Demerzel would have been the figurehead, Cleons would have been forgotten. His reign would have been forgotten. He would be just one more name in the storybooks. However, by having three puppets that are him, any decision that is made is attached to the Cleon name, and his legacy lives on due to that. It's very sad. It's a very sad existence for Brother Dust and Brother Day to realize that they are just puppets, as they see that they are
Yep.
just a figurehead, and that Demerzel is the true heir to Cleon the First. We have alluded multiple times. I gotta shout out Sharper Color Blog. He's been on it from the beginning.
What
He's
up?
been pushing on the Demerzel. Sharper, you've been on it from the beginning. I gotta give it to you on that 100%. And we saw that play out. Now, couple more things that I want to mention. Bel Riois liked what Howard Mallow did. And let's talk about it. Howard Mallow was so cool in this episode. He shows
He's always
up
cool.
to
He's
save his
always
lady,
cool.
says constant, grabs the camera. Wait, this is canceled. Very cool character. I am loving his character. I'm loving his personality.
Yo,
Excellent. What do you thought of that scene of the beheading scene when he stopped it?
let's talk about that scene, right? Because I was so into that scene and I was going back and forth. You know me when I watch shows, I like to predict what's going to happen. And in my mind, I was like, she's going to get saved. And then she was talking, and when she started praying, I was like, no, she has to die because this is going to propel the religion, and it's going to, get believers and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, once I was convinced that she wasn't going to be saved, you saw Demoiselle say something, and Hober Mallet comes in and saves her. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I was out of my chair, like, let's go. I would have liked to have seen Day get eaten, but
I thought he was
I'll
dead.
take the consolation prize. Huh?
I thought he was gonna die in this episode. I thought he was done.
I thought he was too. But at least people know now that he's invincible, and that he's not invincible, rather.
Yeah, he's
So
touched. He's
that's
been touched
huge,
twice. He's been touched twice by the
right?
angels and by these beasts. We're showing how weak Brother Day actually is. We see his personality being not so. He wants to show strength, but he's very weak inside. And just my last prediction here, I think Bill Rio is gonna be the key to stopping
Yeah,
Brother Day from attacking
you
and
already
destroying
knew
the
it was coming.
foundation. I think he likes what Howard Mallow's doing. And what I think the trigger is gonna be is that Brother Day is gonna kill Kerr, who's the partner of Bel Riois. And by doing so, Bel Riois is gonna turn his whole fleet against the Empire, effectively stopping Cleon from destroying the second foundation, thus
It's
preventing the second big crisis that Harry Seldon was talking about. That's what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
and see, I had a prediction that was a little bit
You know,
different. I thought that
go ahead.
uh, uh, Belrio's boyfriend was going to kill him and then take over the fleet. But I think the way that things are headed right now, it's going
Yeah.
to be Belrio's, and there's going to be something to propel him. This talk that he's having with Hover Maller in the next episode is going to be pivotal, and I think that's when we're going to see the shift, because his second in charge keeps on telling him, "Hey, look, you got an opportunity. These people will follow you, and you don't have to serve Empire. Like he locked up your original crew. They're still in the fields or whatever, right? So I think that this next episode, you're going to see that fleet change sides and go against the Empire, and we're going to end with somewhat of a bang in the season finale, but a huge cliffhanger as expected. Uh, please don't take another 2 years to come out with a season. That's all I gotta say.
I hope Apple give us at least three more seasons of this show. There's so much stuff you can do with this show. Do you guys agree or not? Let us know in the comments. Yo, I have to say we are a small channel, but in the last few weeks, this season in particular, I have noticed a couple of channels after we have made some videos and some predictions and some stories out there.
Uh oh.
That stuff
Uh
2 3
oh.
days later has been coming out from them. I had to I had to
I
say
wonder why.
we
Hmm.
we being honest because I think we're watching this as true fans. We don't do YouTube as our job. We do this because we like it, we love it, and we
Definitely
like to
not getting paid
speculate
for
about
this.
this stuff. We like to have a good
Yeah.
time. So hopefully you guys have a good time when you watch our videos, just like we are. We love having a conversation with y'all. But man, what an episode! It's time to rate it,
Yeah.
Mister E. Drop the hammer down. What do you rate this episode?
This episode was terrible. It was a chore to watch, and I don't want to watch it again. Psych, I'm lying. This episode was amazing. I was thrilled from beginning to end. I've watched it about 3 times now. There's no question that I'm giving this episode a 10. Absolutely,
Wow.
unequivocally, 10. Let's go. How
No,
about you,
what an
Lion?
episode. You can tell. I mean, it's a spoiler. This episode, you see excitement. What an episode. I think I watched the first 20 minutes. I was like, is the episode almost over? Because this is like, feels like the
Yeah.
climax of the episode. It
I
felt
was
like
like,
that
come on, don't do it. Yeah.
every 10 minutes. It felt like it was like everything was just, it was just hitting on every cylinder. Amazing work from Apple and whoever's running the show. I'm gonna give this episode a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10.
Let's go.
10. I'm giving
Let's
this a
go.
10. Amazing. What did you guys rate this episode? Don't forget, we're here every week. Let's have a conversation in the comments. Wheel of Time is back, and we're gonna be talking about that as well. We just gotta find some time to
Ah,
watch the episodes and
yeah,
then
you got
have
3
the
episodes
same
out. When did this
discussion.
happen?
It was like, so we have billions this out. We have to catch up to that.
Yeah,
And then we have Wheel of Time, and we have to make time. We have another project that I hope you guys are excited about too, coming soon. So,
I'm assuming.
man, what an episode! Hope you guys enjoyed our video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it. We
Bang
share it
that
on
like button.
Twitter, share it on Instagram, everywhere you want to share. Just share it everywhere. Please do so. Mystery, take us home.
Hey, more episodes coming. Thanks for joining us this time. Catch us next time. Until then, I'm Mystery. This is Lion, and we are
On structure.